It's a brand new season. New day, almost a new year. Life is good. Welcome to Infinite Love Season 3. My name is Kate, and I want to cut you off a little bit about my backstory if you are brand new to listening. This is my self-healing journey. I have taken myself on a very long journey of doing the inner work to heal and embrace my differences, my facial differences. If you go back to season 1, you will learn that I have Cruzon syndrome and I was born with a facial difference, which then took a different turn. And so did my entire life. And I took myself out of the darkness that I chose to live in because it wasn't working for me. And I found new discoveries, new passions, and a whole new meaning to life, to love, to self-love, to healing, to embracing every single moment in all of its glory and abundances. So here I am, season 3, almost a year into this podcast, almost 3 years into this healing journey. And I love it. I love it all. So what does that mean for season 3? Well, season 3, I'm just going to go into the spirituality, the connections, universe, hearing the divine messages, receiving them, trusting in them, and how it got me to where I'm at today. Life has been a little bit different. Is it easy and perfect? Nope. But that's part of the journey. And I'm learning that each day as I carry on, as I navigate through this world, that even on the hardest days, I know I'm okay. I feel that. I trust that. I listen to it. And yes, there are times I'm so frustrated, like any other human being. You just want things to be easy. And that's just not always the case. However, the difference is now I know it's not easy and I'm okay with that. I embrace that. And this allows everything to feel less heavier at least. And as I navigate day by day, I don't overwhelm myself with the what ifs. What about tomorrow, next week, next month, next year? And I find myself laughing when I receive those questions. You see, at some point in my life, I've shared with my closest friends what I desire for myself. And when those questions come up and they retell what I've shared with them, I say things differently. I say it's not about when, it's about allowing it to take place when divine timing takes place. And I truly believe in divine timing. You see, I've rushed the process so many times in my life where it's steered me in a whirlwind of different directions. And not to say that those were bad. I truly believe that they were just meant to be because of the choices I was making. And that's still okay. You see, sometimes as we're walking our path, we either rush the process, we're in a hurry, that we forget to embrace every single moment. Therefore, memories don't really exist. And what's a life of sharing your stories when you can't remember half of them? Because you weren't present, engaging in those moments, learning and growing and healing in those moments. You see, I avoided and I ran from a lot of that in my past. So now, even though I was in hermit mode, I was okay with that too. Because to me, that meant that I was releasing and removing myself from things that no longer serve me. And by doing so, yes, it feels lonely and hard and even awkward or uncomfortable at times. But as each day I moved forward, it was less awkward, less uncomfortable. And then I learned that it taught me patience. I needed to work on my patience. And there go another lesson. So you see, I love living each day and embracing what it has to offer. Because when I sit within and truly listen to the messages, the signs, the synchronicities, they're all telling me something. They're either pointing me in the direction I desire to go, or they're teaching me something I haven't quite sat long enough with or asked the right questions to go deeper within myself to heal. And now I kind of find myself laughing in moments where universe is saying, hey, get out of your head, get out of that ego. That's the old you. It no longer needs to be there. And then I carry on with my day with my head up high, smiling, because that right there was an amazing gift presented to me. And I was just sharing with my cousin the other day, we went to a salt cave, and it was probably the best 45 minutes of relaxation, partial sleep. It just, it was peaceful and serene. But was I 100% relaxed? No, there were moments where my mind began to race. And I wasn't sure if that was my ego coming through or if that was just universe's way of saying, process this. And I was just fighting it because all I wanted to do in that moment was just relax. And I think I was too focused on that, which caused me the triggers of anxiety. But then I did. Then I chose to relax. I chose to just listen to my breathing and listen to the sounds that were playing in the background. And then we went to this restaurant right down the street. And it was a very cute restaurant. And they had just opened 8 months ago. And the woman was so sweet, so kind. And she was just telling us her story about how not many customers come in and asked us to review her store, her restaurant. So I did. And to be honest, I loved the entire vibe in that restaurant. It was a tiny little bistro, and they had flowers everywhere. And when I sat down, because my cousin had me pick the table, I tapped her on the hand and told her to look up. And right above us was a sunflower. And she and I know that that is representation of a sign for me. That's been on my spiritual path, my healing path for the past 3 years. Sunflowers, anytime I see them, I know there's great significance to them. So to me, it's alignment. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be on my journey. And we both smiled and she was like, I love that. I love that for you. And it's those little moments that tell me, that allow me to feel aligned and proud of myself for where I'm at. And I know that there are days where the darkness, floods over me. And as much as one wants to be apprehensive and prepared for those moments, you can't. I could wake up in the most glorious mood and then it just hits me. All this abrupt energy that's sometimes not even mine, that I'm just picking up on others, just hits like a ton of bricks. And I have to navigate my way through that. And sometimes I just don't want to. And that may be selfish, or it just may be exhaustion. Who knows? But I won't get down on myself, whereas I used to in the past. I would quickly go right into shaming or guilting or blaming myself for those scenarios. And now I openly admit, God, I'm just tired. I need a little extra assistance here. I don't understand the lesson, or take this energy from me. Allow me to quietly and calmly and peacefully navigate through this, whatever it is you want me to hear. But I need your assistance. I need you to take some of this weight upon me because I can't do it all right now in this moment with such weight hanging over me. And then it happens. Slowly but surely, the weight's lifted. And then I go into deep reflection and I find myself understanding what it is that I'm experiencing and how to balance that, how to release some of it. And it's magical. And some of it's unexplainable, honestly. It's an all-knowing without knowing. And you can't really explain that gift, but it's a gift I've grown to love, trust, and appreciate. And that doesn't happen all the time, because usually when that moment does arise, it's within my soul. It goes deeper than my intuition, and it just is this energy that floods through me throughout my entire body. And I simply will say to myself, it's an all-knowing without knowing. And that's when I know whatever arises in that circumstance is what I should go with, whatever I'm feeling. And so embracing all these new spiritual gifts has been quite the adventure. I'm not going to lie. And I can't lie either about self-healing. It's not fun. It's not easy. And it's definitely not something that you can just walk away from. I mean, I'm sure you could, but in my mind, in my eyes, I could never just stop this healing journey, especially where I'm at today. Because the only way I could ever really walk away from it all would mean that I would have to go to my darkest of dark sides and divulge into the alcohol, the drugs, whatever it would be that would allow me to escape my reality. And that is not something I desire to do ever. Like, it completely turns me off even thinking about it or talking about it right now. So on those days where I do feel like waving my white flag and saying, I'm done, or I just need a break, I give myself that break. And I don't think that's running or hiding or denying things. I think it's allowing myself to balance out, to hold space for myself, to just be, whether that's take 5 naps in a day, or whether that's playing one of my favorite games on my phone to kind of just escape. Because I don't really escape. To me, I go into this deep reflection and I start solving my own problems within my head. And so even when I'm taking that break, I'm still doing the work consciously and subconsciously. So you never really can escape it. And I don't mind that. As long as I know and reflect within that I'm giving myself what I desire, what I need to balance myself out. And that's where this season is going to go. I'm going to take you along my spiritual journey of what's transpired and transformed these last few years to what may happen in my everyday now. I don't know, but I always look forward to it. You see, my first season, I spoke a lot about the darkness and the pain of my past and how a heartbreak kind of awoke me and transformed me and allowed me to really dive deep into my core wounds, which was lack of self-love and self-worth, and what that journey felt like while doing the work, and how exhausting and painful it was behind the scenes. There were times where it was just constantly a battle between me and my own self, my mind, my body, my heart, my soul, my spirit. But there was always a sense of purpose. And just like that 17-year-old girl who wanted to just give up, there was that voice, that message, that God whisper, your soul serves a greater purpose. And as I've been doing the work, I still hear that voice and I feel it and I line to it and I connect with it. And this faith within my spirituality, diving deep into the rabbit holes of life, allowing myself to see and feel the signs, the synchronicities, the messages without fear, without hesitation, without second guessing, because my ego was so fragile and broken and protective of me for so long that it would always allow me to second guess everything, especially my intuition, knowing when I was doing something wrong, but still going along with it, to now, to where I trust my intuition and I completely listen to it. It's gotten me right here to this amazing life, to the adventures unexplored yet, to the happiness and joy, to sharing my story and helping others in any way I know how. And maybe that's because the message resonates with them. I get those messages a lot on TikTok as I share divine messages here and there. And I do it with vulnerability, no fear. It's a beautiful time capsule for me, a keepsake and a treasure to look back and to know exactly what each video represents to me, what I was experiencing in those moments, the memories I'll hold forever. So this is my life. This is my journey. This is what my self-healing has gotten me. Beautiful abundances, expansion upon passions, creativity, spirituality, gifts. I'm grateful. And I'm grateful I get to share it with all of you. So before we come to a close, I hope that you are all enjoying your holidays and taking the time for yourself. And as we come into the new year, which I'm beyond excited for, 2024 is my year. I hope that you don't just focus on resolutions, but what you can pour into yourself. The love, the worthiness, the peace, the balance that you're so deserving of. Sometimes we forget and we tend to focus on the resolutions, what we're giving up. And yes, that's good. But we focus so hard on what we're giving up that after a couple days or a couple weeks, we go right back into the same routine and we repeat the cycles that we're so comfortable in. So I say, challenge yourself this year. What do you really want to change for you, to better you, to become the greatest version of you, the most healed version of you? Pour into those areas, self-reflect, praise yourself. You've gotten this far for a reason, for a purpose. So I hope that you find that within yourself over the holidays. Take the time out, and rather than always giving and giving and giving, give to yourself. Take yourself on that date, get a massage, go for the walk, read that book you've been desiring to read. Do it without question, without doubt, without fear, because you are worthy, you are love, you are light, and you serve a beautiful purpose. So thank you, and I look forward to a beautiful new season with all of you.